Well, it is getting harder and harder to practice law in Washington, D.C. If you've been in business, if your firm has been in business there for any period of time, you've probably done work with the government. That's why they're there. A lot of them are there.
I don't think there's any major firm that hasn't.
Right.
In D.C.
But if you've done work with the government, with the Biden administration, if you've done work with any investigators who worked on anything related to President Trump, well, you got a problem now. This week, the president signed a new executive order. This is the word that a lot of people have used describing it, targeting certain D.C. law firms that were involved in investigations against President Trump during his first administration.
So Trump is calling these firms frivolous in terms of filing frivolous actions. It goes beyond frivolous, but the consequences are he is stripping them of their security clearances. He is banning them from federal buildings and saying you can no longer represent anybody in the federal government. And this would literally shut down a number of firms.
Unless you cut a deal.
And one of them cut a deal, basically saying that they will spend millions of dollars in legal fees helping causes that Trump supports, and also apologizing for a former partner who dared to do work that Trump disagreed with.
Right. Seems like a very obvious and out there, just no one is trying to cover up, like a quid pro quo, right? I mean, you apologize and do work for us for free, and then you can get your clearance back.
Well, they bend the knee.
Right. Kiss the ring or else. It just seems like an odd thing to do out in the open, as the administration is doing now.
And these law firms are outraged about this.
Some of them are starting to speak up.
But they don't know what to do because they are dependent on access.
Right. So what's the administration doing here? Joining us now to discuss this, Congressman Marlin Stutzman. He is a U.S. rep from the state of Indiana. He is joining us right now. Congressman, welcome to TMZ Live. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Great to be with you, gentlemen, this afternoon.
We appreciate it. So, look, I'm an attorney. I know a lot of lawyers who practice in D.C. What say you about Donald Trump targeting firms that either opposed his policies or were in any way involved in any of the investigations into Trump in the past?
Well, first of all, great to be with you. But I would say, I'm a business guy. And when you're trying to accomplish your goals, you work with people that you know are going to help accomplish those goals. And I just think that, everything that President Trump has dealt with over the past 8 years, he's coming in with a much more skeptical eye with those on the other side. And I mean, let's just be honest. We know that the partisan politics in Washington is greater now than it seems like it's ever been before. I wouldn't say that entirely. It's obviously been worse in other parts of America's history, but the lawfare, the assassination attempt, I think President Trump feels like he's going to be sure that he works and knows who's working in Washington, that his agenda is going to be accomplished and that he doesn't have to keep dealing with distractions. So, some people are going to call it targeting. I think he's just simply making sure that his agenda has a path forward without major distractions with the lawfare movement that we've seen happen over the past 8 years.
Here's the thing about that. You have to tolerate opposition sometimes, and people oppose policies. In at least 2 cases, the reason Trump sidelined these law firms was because of partners in the firm who are no longer even there. And that was his gripe. So it feels like vengeance. It feels like revenge. And revenge, I think, should not have a place in the executive branch of government to say, I hate what one of your former partners did. Apologize for him, or else you're not going to be able to basically do your job, because that's why they're in D.C. It's motivated by revenge.
I don't think it is motivated by revenge. We all know when a new administration comes into office, there's a new agenda, there's a new personality, there's new people, and they're going to work with people who they know they can trust to move their agenda forward. I mean, this happened under, President Clinton. This happened under George W. Bush.
When did they? Give me it, because I've looked. Give me one example where any of these presidents in our history
Signed
has banned a
executive
law
orders.
firm
By the way, by
from
executive order.
Yeah, banned a law firm from basically practicing federal law in D.C.
They didn't have to do it by an executive order. They just didn't do it. I mean, this is time for a reset in Washington, D.C., more than anywhere else.
To what?
It doesn't feel like a reset.
To
It
get
feels
them
like
to comply? Is that what you're saying?
To find
get
ways
them
to
on
work
board
together. I think there's, the message has been sent, hey, I mean, he's already rescinded one of those already, but it's like, you know what? We have to
because
come to the
because they made a
table
deal.
and
Yeah,
work
they made a
together.
deal.
They said we'll give you we're going to give you free
Legal
services.
I think a lot of
So-
time people don't like to think politics as business, but it is. It's a form of business. It's like, you know what? Where can we work together? Can I trust you? Are you going to uphold your end of the deal? Or if you're going to go work behind my back and come after me on the backside, I'm not going to trust you.
The logical extension of what you're saying would be that the next step, because we know how Trump feels about the media, or at least lots of the media, is to revoke FCC licenses for some of the networks that have opposed some of his policies. Would that be on the table?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, look at what happened, over the last 4 years again with social media and, the cancel movement. I mean, it seemed like it was happening without government even being involved. I mean, there was a push to cancel people from having their voices heard. And so I think that's why the American people voted for President Trump, because they truly believe that we should all have the opportunity to speak. And, social media is a place where people can always speak their mind and more. But it's important for all of us to protect those rights. And I truly believe that President Trump is doing that. But when somebody is going to come after him directly, and everything that he's dealt with, from the lawfare to the assassination attempts, I think he is going to be sure that he's got a strong hand and he's going to use it.
Okay.
Well, he's definitely going to use it. He's
definitely going to use it
to sign those
right.
executive orders.
Absolutely. Hey, Congressman, we appreciate you jumping on. Thank you so much.
You bet. Good to be with you guys.
Appreciate it.